Hi YouTube, it's Livy here back again with another review for an entrant in the 2020 Solitaire BGG Print and Play contest. So today we're taking a look at 22 Offerings, which is a solitaire card game designed by designer David Lort that can be played with nothing more than a standard deck of tarot cards. So, as you might have noticed, I have a little help here today with making this video. This is Strudel. She's my Yorkshire Terrier, and I thought that I should introduce you in case you see her popping in and out of the frame from time to time. She's also a really huge fan of board games. I would say that her favorite is probably Eldritch Horror, because the little hearts and little brains are just oh so crunchy. So, yeah, without any further ado, what about this game? So as I said, you can play this game with a standard deck of tarot cards. And tarot cards are a lot like standard playing cards. It has all of the cards that you might expect, from 1 to 10. And then it's got, of course, jacks, kings, and queens, but with the addition of the page suit. And the jacks are called knights in a tarot deck. But in addition to this, you have 22 major arcana cards. And the major arcana cards are cards with pictures, and they have different names, and they have esoteric meanings ascribed to them. So in my opinion, more cards equals more fun, so I think that more games should involve a deck of tarot cards instead of just a pack of normal, boring playing cards. But the only real drawback about this is that you might not have a deck of tarot cards just lying around for you to use for games. But the good news is that I am going to tell you how you can print your very own tarot deck for free, so you can use it for your own games or for your own divinatory purposes if you wish. So, 22 offerings. How does it play? Let's find out.
All right, so here we are, just about ready to go. I think I'll just say a few words about the cards before we get started. So as you can see, I have my standard tarot deck here, and that's the one that I'm going to be using for this demonstration. Because the cards are nice and big and colorful, but if I would want to play a game like this normally, I would probably play with this deck. And this was a deck that I made using some free files to print out and just make cards for. So you can have your very own tarot deck completely free except for the cost of paper and ink. I will put the link in the description. The way you make these is pretty easy. I believe there's 2 designs that you can choose from, and there are 2 sizes you can choose from. So you can pick either the full-size cards or you can pick mini cards. And the mini cards are about a little less than 2 inches tall. For me, the standard cards were too big and the mini cards were too small, so I kind of finagled it a little bit to make a size that was more to my liking. And the way that I did that is I just took the standard cards, and instead of printing them on A4, I printed them on A5, so these are basically half size. The actual cards look a lot nicer if you print them on a printer that has enough colored ink. Mine's really running out, so that's why it kind of looks like yellow and magenta, but really it should look like aged parchment, but it's good enough for my purposes. So, yeah, thought I would just show you that. So, to set up for 22 offerings, the first thing we have to do is we need to put the minor arcana in one deck and the major arcana in the next one. So this game is a little bit like the classic game of solitaire, where we're attempting to discard all of the cards. So I think that instead of going through all of the rules from beginning to end, I'm just going to start playing and explain what I'm doing. I think it's probably more fun and more useful that way. So first we take out 4 the major arcana. And these are the major arcana that we're going to be working with and attempt to honor and therefore discard first. So in order to honor a major arcana, we need to do a ritual, which involves offering some of the minor arcana. So each ritual is a combination of minor arcana cards, and each card has different requirements. So you're going to need this little reference sheet, unless your memory is really, really good, but I've played this game multiple times and I still haven't memorized it yet. So I'll just keep this here. So we have our first cards that we're trying to honor, and then we deal our hand. So we deal out 8 in 2 rows, with 4 in each row. So this is our hand. And this is what we have to work with right now. So let's look at what rituals we need to honor these cards. So first off, we have justice. And in order to honor justice, we need to, let's see here. We need sword and gold coins of the same value, or sword and gold cards of the same value. So that would mean that I would need like an ace of swords as well as an ace of coins or pentacles or discs, or however you want to say it. I do not have that, so let's look at the next one. So for the world, all we need is 1 card of each suit, so that's relatively easy. I think I am going to start off with the 6 of swords over here. And when we start to honor the major arcana, we don't have to do it all at once. We can put just part of the cards that make up the ritual on the card at a time and resolve it, I guess, during later turns. So I'm putting that one here. We refresh our hand. Let's see, we have 7 of cups. So temperance over here needs 2 cups cards of consecutive value. So if I had a 6 of cups or an 8 of cups, I would be able to honor that one, but I don't. And the high priestess is honored by just using these 2 cards on each side. So it's kind of like her pillars, her black and white pillars. So I think I'm going to do that. It's just nice and easy. So here we go. And we've honored the high priestess. We refresh the arcana and we refresh the cards. We have to deal them out in a specific order, because as you can see, the order does matter. So for the Hermit needs a single wand card that is 9 or higher, and that includes figures. So in this case, figures are like kings, queens, aces, pages, and knights. And then all of these other cards are just considered numbered. And we're pretty lucky here because we already have a 9 of wands. So we can just honor the Hermit right away. So he's taken care of. So for the Magician, we need 3 of a kind. So that would mean I need 3 2s, 3 10s, or 3 6s, or something like that. So let's try honoring the Magician. So we have a 6 here, and we refresh. And I'll take the 6 here, and refresh again. So let's see. So the world is relatively easy. We have a sword here. We might as well put in a cup. And why not a coins And then how about this? Put in the wand. So now the world is honored. Okay, strength. Strength needs 2 knights. So we have the Knight of Cups here already. I don't know if we can do anything right now, no. So Temperance is going to be hard for us to honor right now because we need 2 cups in consecutive order. I am going to discard one of the cards in my hand so I can put this card at the bottom of the deck and we don't have to deal with it right now. So since the pages don't really matter that much, there's not a lot I can do, I will put the page as the first card in my discard pile. So Temperance can go back to the bottom. And now we have the Fool. Okay, so the Fool is special. In order to honor him, I need to do the same ritual that I did for the last arcana. So I could do the Ritual of the World if I want. That's relatively easy. But do I want to do that? And this is kind of tricky. Maybe I will get rid of the Fool again because I don't really want to bother with him. And I'll discard this 2 of Cups. The Fool goes back to the bottom. Ooh, the Devil. So the Devil is special. When he comes up, you have to resolve him immediately. So in order to honor him, you need to take the top 4 cards of your hand and just put them in the discard. Not in the honored pile, in the discard. But then the Devil is honored. So at least we have him taken care of. And just refresh. So the Moon. To honor the Moon, we need the 2 cards on the hand column below the arcana at once. So that would mean that I would need to spend both this 5 of coins and this Queen of Cups at the same time. Do I want to do that? Okay, I'm just going to do it. Let's be crazy. Hope I don't regret it later because I know I need some queens coming up. For the Star, we need numbered cup cards that add up to at least 17. So we already have 9. That's not a bad start. I'll put this here. King of Swords. I think Justice is going to elude us at the moment. So I'm going to discard that one to put Justice at the bottom. And then, all right, the Sun. We need numbered coin cards that add up to at least 19. So, well, here's 9. Now we're getting a little tricky because you cannot take any cards off of the Arcana once you've offered them. You can only add more on top. So if I want to change my strategy, I basically have wasted these cards. I don't want to do that. One thing that I can do is I can discard 1 card from a row, and that lets me put these 3 cards back on the bottom of the deck, and I can deal a fresh 3. Oh, okay. Oh, I have knights. I should have noticed this. Okay, Knight of Cups and Knight of Pentacles. Strength is honored. And this is good because we have the Emperor, and he only needs 2 kings. So we have 2 kings and he's honored. The Wheel of Fortune is another one that's a little bit special. So when we get the Wheel of Fortune and we want to honor it, first thing we have to do is we need to take our hand and we need to shuffle it up. Okay, we deal it back. So once we've shuffled and redealt this, then we just need to pick 3 cards to honor this arcana. And I'm going to pick the Page, 7 of Swords, and the 7 of Wands. So that will honor the Wheel of Fortune. Once we do that, we also get to shuffle our discard pile, and we get to redeal 3 more. So sometimes the cards in the discard pile are not gone forever. Here we have the Empress. And to honor the Empress, we need 2 queens. Don't have any queens. I think I want to get rid of her for a while. And then again, do I? Let's see. So the Sun, I need 19. So that means I need 10 more. Oh, there we go. The Sun is honored. The Lovers. We need 2 figures of different suits, and they can be any different suit. So we have 2 figures of swords here. We could use one of them. I'm going to take the Page of Swords and put it here. Empress, I'm having some trouble with her at the moment, so I'm going to discard this card, put her back. Hierophant. He needs 2 figures of different... Oh wait, no, he doesn't. He needs any 3 wand cards, so that's not too bad. I have 3 wand cards here. They're in a row. But heck, let's do it. Let's honor the Hierophant. Chariot. Needs a sword figure and 2 sword cards. So it doesn't say that I can't use 2 sword figures if I don't want to, and the aces are figures. So maybe I'm going to take this as the figure, and these are the 2 sword cards. Yes. So we have the Knight of Wands, which helps us finish the Lovers. All right, Death. He's a little bit tricky, Death. So we need 2 cards from our hand and 2 cards from the discard pile that have the same values. So let's see, I have a Queen, I have a 2. I could do that. 2 of Swords, 2 of Cups. There's 10, Page, another 2, and a 4. Yeah, I can do that. So we can take 2 cards out of my discard pile. 2 and a 4, 2 and a 4, and death is honored. So the tower requires 4 numbered consecutive cards. So I have a 3, 5, of 2, 5, 2 threes here actually. So in order to do judgment, we need any 3 cards of different suits, and then we can choose 3 cards of the same suits from the discard pile and then put them back in the offerings. So we have a pentacle and a cup. We have 2 pentacles and 2 cups. I can't really get the full benefit of judgment right now, so I'm not going to do it. The tower is hard, and the tower is always hard for me, so let's put the 3 of swords in the discard. Put the tower on the bottom. Okay. The Hanged Man, now he's clever. You can remember what he needs because you need a 6 and a 9. Because a 6 is like a 9 upside down or vice versa. Don't have any of these though. Well, I might as well start working for the star at least, and here's another cup, so we have 9 and 3, so that's 12. And that means that we need 5 more. We'll be done with that. Tricky. So now in my discard I have a pentacle and a cup and a sword, so I could do that if I spend... I don't have any cups here though. Have wands in here? No. So how about let's discard this so that we can get rid of judgment. Temperance. Temperance needs 2 cup cards of consecutive value, and I have no cups to be found. Yeah, I don't know about this. I think we're not very lucky this game. Or maybe I'm just playing poorly. Alright, we're going to discard the ace. So we can tuck temperance back at the bottom. Oh, the fool. And in order to do the fool, we would need to honor it in the same way as we did death, because that was the last one we honored, and I don't think so. So we'll get rid of the ace and tuck the fool back on the bottom. And we're back to justice again. We saw that one earlier. Oh, we can solve the star now. This is more than enough cups to honor the star. So that one's done. And there's the Empress. So the Empress needs 2 queens. So here's 1 queen. Oh, no, oops. I meant to draw from this pile over here. And the 2nd queen. My offerings deck is getting very slim. The tower, once again, 4 numbered consecutive cards. There's a 7 and an 8. A 9 or a 6 would be good. I can't remember what we've already used and like what's in the discard deck and what cards I've already spent, so I can't remember what's still here. Well, let's just take a... Let's discard the page. Put Justice back. There's Judgment. Okay, can we deal with it now? Judgment. 3 cards of different suits, so I should be able to do that. Coins, swords, wands. So coins, swords, and wands for Judgment. And we get to bring 3 cards back from the dead. Coins, swords, and wands. How about coin, swords, and how about wands? Temperance again. 2 cups cards of consecutive value. No cups. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think we're doing so hot. My offerings deck is empty at the moment, so I think we might just have to give up at this point. Well, if I didn't want to give up right now, it's pretty much hopeless, but I can try, for example, if I discard the King of Swords, I can still do that and get rid of Temperance if I want. Then we have the Fool again, who would have the same cost, basically, the same ritual as Judgment. So for Judgment, we need a wand, a sword, and coins. So he would be honored. And then we get a wand, a sword, and coins. Wand, coins, sword. And Justice, back again. Nope. That is it. That is all I can do, really. So let's count up our score. So our score is going to be the number of arcana cards that we actually honored. So we did 22 minus 5, so if I'm not wrong, that's 17. 17 points. Is that good? Is that bad? I'm not entirely sure, but that is what we scored. So let's go into some final thoughts about this game.
All right, so let's get to the final thoughts. First off, the build. So this game is exceedingly easy to build if you are like me and you happen to have a tarot deck just lying around. If you do, then this is probably the easiest game to build in the whole contest because you just need a tarot deck and that's it. You can, of course, print off the reference sheet, or you can just keep it on your phone or your PC or whatever device you use. If you're like me, you probably are a big fan of analogs, so you'll probably print it out. But that's really all you need. If you don't have a tarot deck, then you'll either have to buy one or make your own. And in that case, this is a pretty standard PnP type build with just cards. Just use your favorite card making technique. Unfortunately, the only way you can print out the files is in the back-to-back style. There isn't a gutter fold style on this website, but hey, it's free to use, so I'm not going to complain about that. What do I like about this game? So what I like about this game is that it plays with a tarot deck. I think that's its greatest benefit. I have never played a game with a tarot deck before, and I think it's really cool, and more game designers should really explore doing this. I have a lot of fun playing with all of the 78 different cards of the deck, and the pictures and the colors are fun. It feels very interesting and sort of thematic to have sort of the mystical idea of offering the minor arcana to the major arcana in rituals. It's got a little bit of that mystical flavor, so that's sort of cool. I like that it doesn't really take that long to play. I would say it takes maybe if you're really fast, you could probably play this in maybe 15 minutes, but I would say for most people it's about 20-25 minutes, depending on how much you have to think about your next move. Something I like about this game is that it's a little tricky, it's a little difficult. I don't think most people are going to win this game the first time they try it, and maybe even not like the first 2 or 3 times they try it. For me, difficulty in solo games is definitely a plus. I would always rather that a game is too difficult than too easy. So yeah, that's good. As for some things that I wasn't such a big fan of, I think that the largest and most obvious drawback is the need for a reference sheet. I can't really see anybody playing this game without a reference sheet unless you've played it a ton of times and you've really memorized everything. It's a little bit annoying to always have to be looking back and forth at the sheets and looking at your major arcana and trying to figure out what you need to do this. And it can be really difficult to remember what cards you've already honored, what cards you've discarded, what cards you even have coming up next, if you'll be able to even honor these arcana cards with what you've got. So I think your memory needs to be really, really good. And for most of us, I think that we're just going to have to guess. So that's maybe not so great. The other drawback of this game is that it doesn't really have a lose condition. You can win if you honor all of the major arcana, but if you don't lose. You just count up how many of the major arcana you have honored, and that's your score. So I kind of like games that have a win or lose sort of situation, or maybe it would have been good if you had to honor a minimum of the major arcana in order to consider that a win. But that's just something kind of minor. I think that this game has limited replay value, and this is because once you have beat the game by honoring all 22 of the major arcana cards, there really isn't much of a reason to return to it, because you've already got the maximum high score. Now, the creator did make a variant version with gifts. So you can just print off another sheet of paper, and in this case you'll need 2 references, one for how to honor the arcana, and one for the gifts that the arcana will give you when you honor them. And this one adds some rules about having to invert half of the major arcana, and if you honor them, then you might get a gift back from your discard pile. But these rules, I think, make things overly complicated, and I tried playing with it once or twice, but I really didn't have much fun with it, just because there was already so much to keep in mind. I didn't like having to look at 2 different reference sheets and trying to remember, okay, if I honor the arcana in this way, will I even have any benefit to this, because is the gift even in the discard pile to begin with? So that was kind of challenging for me. Did I like this game? Yeah, I thought it was okay. It was pretty good. I had some fun with it for the time that I played it. I think that it's a good little diversion. a fun little puzzle to try out a few times. I don't think it's going to be a game that I really come back to too much after this, because I have beaten it before and I don't really see any reason to play this again. But I... sorry, Strudel's squeaking her elephant. Gosh, no, I lost my train of thought. Okay. This game will not be in my regular rotation. It was a fun puzzle, but I feel like I solved the puzzle. I definitely think it's worth your time to try it out, but I wouldn't say that it would be my #1 priority to try of some of the games that I've tried so far. Please check it out if you're curious, and as always, don't just take my word for it. Form your own opinions, play the game for yourself, and find out if this game is the right kind of game for you. So yeah, as usual, I'm going to hold off on giving a final rating until the end of the contest. Check out the link in the description to download the rules for this game and all of the other games in this year's competition. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I will see you in the next video. Take care of yourself.